Creepypasta has an interesting history. It started off as campfire stories of the internet, but quickly entered the real world when two preteens savagely attacked their friend in the name of Slenderman. But before Creepypasta, there was creepy emails in the 1990s called chain emails. The most famous read, "You are now cursed. You must send this on or you will be killed," followed by, "What horrible things will happen to you if you don't forward the email to one of your friends." Then there was Ted the Caver in 2001, the very first creepypasta. This was a 10-page horror story about a caver excavating a haunted cave. It was posted to the free web hosting company Angel Fire back when having your own website was the same as having a Facebook profile. As the story goes on, things became creepier and creepier. They encounter strange hieroglyphs, haunting noises, airy winds, and more. But it wasn't until 2007 that a user on X, 4chan's paranormal section of the message board, used the word creepypasta for the very first time. It came from the word copypasta, pasta as in paste, like copy-paste, like the infamous Navy SEAL Copypasta. This was a block of text phrased as if it was written by an elite Navy SEAL insulting a beta male. Online trolls copy and pasted it as a reply to people in the comments of online communities for the laws. As the years rolled on, we ended up with Slenderman, Ben Drowned, and Jeff the Killer. These were the most infamous creepypastas of all time, all with real-life tragedies behind them that shook the nation. The first was 12-year-old Peyton Leitner, who was stabbed with a knife by her fake friends in 2014. Her two besties, Morgan and Anissa, lured her into the woods nearby David's Park in Waukesha to play a game of hide-and-seek, but they stabbed her 19 times instead. They did it in the name of the fictional Slenderman, a supernatural entity that stalks and murders children. This character originated from the Something Awful forums, which was an online community with dark delights and violent endings. This is because the founder of the website killed himself after a dark secret of his was exposed to the world. I did a full video on it as one of my first videos on YouTube, so be sure to check it out. As for Slenderman, he went mainstream, entering every household across North America. By 2014, it reached Morgan Geyser's household in Wisconsin. The stabbing happened because this girl was schizophrenic and thought Slenderman was the cause of her hallucinations. By killing her friend Peyton, she'd prove her loyalty to Slenderman, gaining his protection. And the second girl was jelly of Peyton, so she egged Morgan on as Morgan pushed the blade in and out. Peyton survived, and these mentally ill children were sent to mental institutions. Anissa is free now, but Geyser was denied release in 2023 and remains there to this day. That's probably a good thing, because some of her hallucinations included seeing ghosts and colors melting down the walls, and a creepy entity called It, made of smoke and ink, stood beside her in mirrors and shifted around corners. Talk about freaky. Creepypastas declined in popularity since this stabbing happened. So what does this mean? Did bad media press kill the creepypasta vibes, or did parents kill it by not letting their kids read creepypasta anymore? Let me know in the comments what you think happened, because a lot of people think creepypasta became boring pasta because young boys and girls oversaturated the market. They say they flooded the sphere with their sloppy fan art, poorly written 9th grade horror stories, and cringy spin-off fan fictions. But this didn't stop real-life murders from happening. 14-year-old Donovan Nicholas shifted around his staircase when he stabbed his stepmom 60 times in 2017. Before the killing, he dressed up like the creepypasta character Jeff the Killer. This fictional character was a bullied teenager whose face was burned off by his bullies. Similar to the Joker from Batman, Jeff went insane by carving a smile on his face with a blade. Then he murdered his entire family. This is the most teenage-esque copypasta so far because it attracted lots of emo fangirls, silly drawings, and cringy fanfiction. This image is from a Japanese message board in 2005, but it was later reposted to the Newgrounds forum, and DeviantArt user Scissor used it to create the creepypasta in 2011. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video on the dark side of Newground. And in 2017, Donovan brought Jeff to life by assuming his identity. He dressed up like Jeff and used a knife to scratch a bloody smile over his face, or at least tried because it looked stupid. Then he hid near the staircase and, knife in hand, lunged at his stepmom coming down the stairs. He stabbed her 60 times with the kitchen knife, leaving her for dead. But she was still alive, so he finished her off with his dad's 9mm handgun. Surprisingly, he was the one to call 911 for help.
911, where's your emergency?
I just killed my mother. It wasn't me who killed her. It was Jeff. I kind of have another person inside me. He killed her. He snapped.
Donovan claimed Jeff the Killer was his alternate ego living inside of him, whom he had no control over. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 25 years. But the Supreme Court overruled this ruling 6 years later. He's free now, roaming the city among people like you and me. He was freed on his 21st birthday. So, happy birthday, I guess, Donovan. Or should I say, Jeff? But 12-year-old Caitlin Davis never lived to see her 21st birthday. She live-streamed her own death by hanging herself on a tree branch in 2016. Before her passing, she made a blog post talking about dating Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned is a creepypasta about a young adult who purchases a haunted copy of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask from a yard sale. This spiraled into a series of events that the author kept going for 10 solid years until its conclusion in 2020. It included blog posts, images, YouTube videos, and a large cult-like following to boot. But the Ben Drowned she was talking to went missing, and she said she couldn't live without him. Turns out, she was being catfished into an online relationship by a man claiming to be related to that story. And when the catfisher went missing, her life crumbled apart. But her death was much more complicated, having involved a broken home and a 19-year-old man, Luke, that manipulated her for his own perverted pleasures. But one thing's for sure. The real-life deaths in the name of creepypastas are just as harrowing as the stories themselves. But we can't let a few deranged kids ruin the magic of what creepypasta once was. The spirit of creepypasta lives on through the subreddit No Sleep and the YouTube community that narrates such stories. But it'll never be the same, because Like they say, you can bring back the PS2, but you can't bring back the 2000s.